Why me? Why me? I was happy. I'm too old to build again. She fell asleep crying. She cried for many days and nights, but was so weak she didn't know she cried. Seasons came and went till 5 years had went by. The fairies kept her warm in winter and cool in summer. The fairies were sad and blamed themselves for her sadness, thinking if only we had helped her more, her house would be up and strong. So in the 5 years the fairies made a house just like the one she made them. It had a room for the birds and 4 bedrooms. The house had gold walls and jade floors. But they still felt bad for what they had done, so they went to ask the queen of the fairies what to do. A rose for each season, a berry to please, and tears from each fairy. In a hole of a rock must it set in moonlight. Before Mr. Sun wakes up, put the mixture in a ruby glass. This drink she must drink before dawn. So the fairies found the roses, pink for spring when all is light, red for summer when all is hot, yellow for fall when all is getting sleepy, and white for winter when all is cold. The berry was a wild strawberry. They cried till no more tears could they make. They found a rock with a hole and mixed it all together. Before Mr. Sun was up, they made her drink. They sat and waited for her to wake. As the sun came up, she woke up. She washed her face in the creek, but when she looked into the water, she couldn't believe her eyes. The old lady wasn't looking back at her. A young lady of 18 is what she saw. The drink had made her young. The young lady went up the hill, thinking she would rebuild. How happy she was to see the house she now had. But she was lonely. The old man was gone. The bottles of the old house did land upon his head. The fairy queen saw how lonely the young lady was. So she called her oldest son to her throne. My dear son of happiness, see the young lady. She has a heart of gold and sweet as morning dew. But she's lonely. What am I to do? Mother, send me your oldest son. So the fairy queen, with all her heart and powers, made her oldest son into a full-grown man. His hair was as golden as the finest of gold, his eyes as blue as the sky, and his smile could make night into day, it was so bright. Now the young lady would go to the creek and cry as she picked blackberries for pies each day. One day she went to pick berries, but they were picked. The queen's son was there with berries in hand. They fell in love and was married by the queen and lived to an old age. The end. And that was the story of the old lady on the hill by Rebecca Hillhouse. If you would like to hear more stories, please hit like or let us know. Thank you for listening.